Hello, and welcome back to World of Warships. Oolykee here. Today we're going to be talking about top 5 economic tips for World of Warships. Just a short disclaimer, this is a personal opinion and some of it might be controversial. I'm going to try to explain why, but let's get cracking and see where we get. Okay, first and most important resource in this game is the balloons. You get them, the best way to get them is either paying for it, which I don't suggest you do. Don't spend any money on this game if you don't want to. If you want to spend money on this game, feel free to enjoy it. It's up to you. I don't spend any money on this game and I'm probably gonna continue doing so. We'll see if you guys want me to spend some money on something. We might do it, but for now I don't want to spend any money on this game because I'm enjoying without spending any money on this game. What you can get for the balloons, the most important thing I suggest, and this is a tip, what you should spend the balloons on. First tip is don't spend money on this game, but buy tip or first tip B is when you spend this money, the balloons, you should spend it on first Christmas containers. This is the period now that you should be spending your doubloons on, because this is the greatest chance that you can actually get these rare ships that everybody wants, Smalan being probably the most wanted ship in the game. So this is what I want as well. I don't have a Smalan and I would like to have it. So we're gonna be in next couple of days, I'm gonna release videos with opening all these 20 Christmas containers. We'll see what we're gonna get from them. I got one ship, tier 8 premium Japanese one out of 6, 7, 8 containers, but that's all of that again I got for free. So this is the number 1 where you should spend your doubloons. The number 2 is the dockyard events. Now this is double-edged sword. Maybe it's not good to spend it on the dockyard events, especially on ships like Puerto Rico, which I'll probably next to never play because there's better ships than Puerto Rico on tier 10, and that would be even the Des Moines or Moskva or Stalingrad. Even I think it would be better than Puerto Rico, but anyway, I got Puerto Rico. I paid 7,500 to get these 5 research stages so I can get it in the end. So that's my tip 1, and tip 1B would be don't spend money and spend the balloons on Christmas crates and the dockyard events. So the second tip is regarding coal. Coal for me, this is controversial, is more important than steel and research points. I will explain shortly why. First, how you get coal. The majority of your coal is going to be through daily containers. I already picked up 2 of them. The third one is going to be picked up shortly. Just go for coal. Previously they were called resource containers, I believe. Go for coal containers, coal. Other ways of getting a coal is now. Now if you go for your tier 9 and tier 5, 6 and 7 ships, you get 750 coal, as you can see here for this ship or Repulse, that is number 6 or tier 6. I can get 750 coal if I play one game with it and get 300 base XP, which is not too hard, and I'm gonna be doing it for all my ships. This is enormous amounts of ships and coal that you can get, thousands upon thousands, tens of thousands upon tens of thousands of coal that you can get through these events. Other ones would be the lighthouse event, which I always go for. I always bid for coal and I always secure the coal. Getting a coal, I got at least 250,000 coal in last year alone in the lighthouse events. What is coal important for? The coal is important for coal ships. The most important coal ship in my book, and I believe this is majority would believe so, is Moskva. If you go to your coal ships in your ship section, I'm gonna have to scroll all the way down in purchase ships. It would be Moskva. Moskva is extremely competitive. It has a huge concealment, so it can be seen from far away. That's a negative side, but it has extremely accurate guns, good DPM or DPS, the damage per minute or second, and also has a radar, long lasting radar. It's a really magnificent ship. I believe it was the most important here. The second would be Napoli, close second Napoli, but Moscow is definitely alpha and omega for competitive and everything else around it. So if this needs to be your first ship, this is suggestion to be your first ship to research. Definitely go for Moscow. Unfortunately, mine wasn't Moscow, but definitely Moscow. Moscow would be the alpha and omega. It also has legendary module that even makes it even better ship, but we're gonna talk about later. So you get ships. The second thing you can get for coal, you get captains. You get these special captains. The most important being arguably Gunter Lutyens, because you're gonna use it on so many German ships that have secondaries, because it has bonuses for secondaries, and most of the people might say Nikolai Kuznetsov because it has a really good action when your ship is repaired and healed when it's about to die. Gives you a little bit short boost in the end, among other things, but those two are the most important captains that you can get for Cole. The third thing that you can get for Cole, not less important, would be the upgrades for your ships. That would be extension of your radar, duration of your radar, hydroacoustic search, smoke, those being the most important ones. Of course, you have a fire, damage control party, spotting aircraft, and so on and so on, but radar, hydro, and smoke being the most important one. They cost 17,000 coal, and you're gonna need a lot of them. As you can see here, I at least have 10-15 of them. Anyway, let's move on. Tip number 3, or resource number 3, is the research points. So research points are another currency in the game that you can use for ships and additional modules. We're gonna cover that shortly. First, how you get research points. You have to have tier 10 ships. You need to have 5 tier 10 ships in order to even have this icon appear below your tier 10 ships that you already reached tier 10. So when you have this little icon appear, you can reset the line. Now every time you reset the line, you can get 10,200 research points. There's 3 or 4 times a year event where you have double this amount. Most of the people wait for this event to get double. I suggest you don't wait for double. Restart at least 1 line constantly. I restarted 2 lines constantly. For me, it was the Holland line and Haraguma line, and I collected enough resources to buy 4 research bureau ships in last 12 months. I accumulated enormous amounts of research points, and I got 2 legendary modules as well. Now, just a side note that if you restart the aircraft carriers, you get less points. You get only 8,000 points, because they have less ships to go through. Now, how is this calculated? If you restart the, let's say, midway line, you get only 8,000 research points. How is this calculated? If we go to our ships that we already have, I will show you that each one of those 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 ships give you a little bit of those research points. How many? The number 5 gives you 200 research points, number 6 gives you 500, number 7 gives you 500, 8 and 9 gives you 1,500, and the last one, tier 10, gives you 6,000 research points. Now, these are stackable. You can constantly reset without collecting it ever, or collecting it sometimes in the future. You're gonna see here with Minekaze, I restarted this line 14 times in last year. I think twice it was ×2, so it's 12 times in last year I restarted Minekaze, and when I play one game with this ship, I will collect 14 times 200 research points. Same with Hatsuharu, 14 times 500. That's gonna be 15 times, because I'm gonna restart it one more time, so I will get 7,500 research points on only playing once Hatsuharu. The same thing it's with Shiratsuyu as well. I will do it shortly because I'm gonna need these points. Anyway, moving what we can do with these research points. If you go to your armory, you will have the research bureau section in your armory. It's the same symbol as the research points themselves. You can buy these ships. The ships are currently that I don't have is Slava, Ohio, Gibraltar, Sevastopol, Paolo Emilio. These are the ships that I don't have, and the ships that I do have and I bought is Colbert, Druid, Vampire, and Siegfried. My favorite is Vampire 2. Vampire 2 has a crawling smoke. It's extremely fun ship with enormous DPS. Second one is Siegfried. It has the biggest guns, 380mm guns for tier 9 cruiser, and extremely accurate. It's fabulous ship. And then Colbert, the biggest DPM in second damage per minute. Druid I got because it was cheap. I needed it for super container. The most competitive ship that everybody's gonna tell you, and I'm telling you as well, is Ohio. Everybody should go for Ohio, especially if you're a battleship player. Go for Ohio because it's extremely competitive. It's one of the most wanted battleships in the game. So research Ohio. For fun, I go with Vampire because I usually play destroyers. The second thing you can buy with this resource is the upgrades. Those are called legendary upgrades or unique upgrades, previously known as legendary. legendary ones. I have only 2 of them, one for Moskva, like we previously mentioned in a ship Moskva. It has legendary module that increases its accuracy and range, but its slower traverse speed. This is definitely upgrade for Moskva. Gearing as well lowers its concealment, so it's a really important thing to have on your gearings. There's many legendary modules that you can get, and for all of them you need research points. So research points for me, it's from fun point of view, it's the most important resource. But tip number 3, restart at least one line constantly. Don't wait only ×2. Preferably go for 2 different lines. Now, for controversial thing that I'm gonna say here is steel. Number 4, steel. A lot of people will tell you that steel is the most important thing. Not for me. For me, first of all, how you get steel. The most important way to get steel is clan wars. You're gonna get in if you join a clan and play clan wars. Average clans go to like Storm League. You can get a lot of steel there, up to 7,500, I believe. The second way to do it is to go for your ranks. In rank battles, you can go for steel. Again, as explained previously, go straight away in the first sprint to your golden league and get all the steel from there. From here you can get 7,200 steel if you go for sprint straight away and collect the gold straight away, and then collect, I believe, 6 consecutive runs after that. Collect only gold league steel. You can get 7,200 steel from that. I mostly did that, but it's extremely stressful, like previously mentioned, to get to steel league. This is how you get the steel. Now, what you can use steel for is the steel ships. The other way to get steel is through a little bit of daily bonuses. You have now the battle pass and so on, but the most important is clan wars and ranks. Ships, why don't I consider it to be the most important resource is because I don't want anything for steel. I have 5 steel ships, the most important being Ragnar. I hate that ship, that's a different story for a different day. And the Stalingrad, those 2 would be probably the best things that you can get for steel. If you're a battleship player, Shikishima is extremely good ship. If you're an aircraft carrier, FDR has the biggest HP pool of any ships. They're really resilient to AA, but it's not so competitive compared to the Soviet aircraft carriers like Nakimov. Stalingrad and Ragnar. Ragnar being first. If you are a DD player, if you don't like DDs, I don't like Ragnar myself. I just need to get used to it to enjoy it a little bit more. But Stalingrad is a classic heavy cruiser. The problem with Stalingrad, it burns too much, and when people see you on a map, they focus on you to burn you down just because it burns like battleship and it really likes to burn. But it's a fabulous ship. So for me, steel is not that important because I don't want any of these ships. I will probably buy some of them, maybe incomparable, maybe FDR. I'm not really sure. I'm still gonna decide. But I will, in next few episodes, the next few videos, I will probably buy one of those 2 ships. For me, it's not important because I don't care about these ships. Vallejo maybe because it's a kiting cruiser-ish thingy, so I would probably enjoy that ship, but the rest of them, not so important. And that's it. There's nothing else you can do with steel. And number 5 is the credits. This could be easily be number 1 because I'm gonna explain why. I bought all these ships with collecting coal, collecting steel, collecting the research points. I had at one point 70,000 steel and I bought 3 steel ships. I had 180,000 research points, over 1 million coal. So all of this is nothing if you don't have credits. Even though you get the ships, you need credits to equip them. Now this is where the tricky part starts. How to get credits? You get credits by playing your average ships. How to get more credits? Play premium ships. How to get the most credits? The second most, the best way to get credits is play your special ships. Special ships are the tier 10 premium ships. Currently, my special ships are tier 10. These are nothing. Hayate, Yoshino, Sherman, Austin, Puerto Rico, Khabarovsk, Moscow, Stalingrad, Kurfürst, Mecklenburg, Immelmann, Druid, Plymouth, Colbert, Napoli, Ragnar, Tromp, and Vampire. These are my special ships. They are second best to earn credits. Why? Because they have economic bonuses that help you with this. Now, if you go to the economic bonuses, you can see here on, let's say, Moskva. Moskva has economic bonuses that gives you 50% more credits for battles. Now, what's the downside of playing these ships? Better ones are tier 9. We're gonna explain that. That's the only downside. It's easier to play with tier 10 ships because you can only get in tier 11 match with super ships, but you are the top of the game. These are the best ships you can get in the game, and they have perma camouflage. Now it's called perma bonuses, permanent bonuses with 50% credits, and of course you can gain a lot of stuff for your commanders and free XP, which is accumulated a little bit faster than on other ships. The best way to get these credits is the tier 9 premium ships. So if you go to your premium ships, that would be the premium ships, and only select tier 9s. Why tier 9s? The same reason why not tier 10s, because you can get into battles with tier 10 ships and 11 ships, and if you know how to play your tier 9s, you will get the most credits. What do I mean by that? You will be shooting at tier 10 ships, and if you play, well, my favorite ship recently is the Azuma. It's a kiting cruiser, it shoots from afar. It doesn't matter if you're shooting at tier 7 ship or tier 11 ship, you're probably gonna have similar position and similar tactic. You're gonna be far away from the battle and try to set them on fire from out of the enemy's range. So Azuma is, it doesn't matter on which tier it plays, so Azuma is really competitive. Some other competitive ships would be Neutroshimi with its super heal and low concealment. It's a well-rounded ship. Siegfried with long range and extreme accuracy. Again, it doesn't matter if you're shooting at tier 11 ships or tier 7 ships, you just get more money and more experience and more everything if you are shooting at higher tier ships. So tier 9 ships that are really good, like Siegfried or Azuma, would bring you way more money than tier 10 ships, just because you will be killing tier 10 ships. Again, it's a little bit harder because you can have tier 10 aircraft carriers or super aircraft carriers shooting at you, so it would be a little bit harder for you to play. But if you know how to play, how to position yourself, you will earn more money with these ships than tier 10 ships. Why are credits so important? I'll show you now. I have tier 10 ships. I have at least 10 to 15 tier 10 ships that I purchased in the last couple of months. Some of them being, we're gonna go for the equipment, some of them being Hayate. I don't have enough money. I have 28 million. Usually you're gonna have millions and millions of these credits. Nothing is enough. Nothing I have is enough because most of my ships don't even have equipment. Hayate, Yoshino, no equipment, Zao. Each one of these ships requires to be equipped, where the last module costs 3 million, 2 million, 1 million, so 6 million for only last 3 modules, and you have around 875,000, so let's say 7 million to equip each one of those ships. Some of them even have the next module that you need to research and buy. So 7 million per ship, and I already told you 4 ships. We can go for Sherman, Austin, Puerto Rico. None of them have modules, and I need to buy modules for each one of those ships, and each one of them costs 7 million. So only here I have 35 million that I showed you, and there's at least another 10 ships around here that I need to equip, from Schlieffen, Preußen to Delny, Grozovoi. You need enormous amount of credits in order to equip your ships. So grinding premium ships to get as much money as you can, turn as much as you can. That's the only thing I can suggest here. So it might as well be the first, or let's leave it here at the 5th tip. Your credits, the best way to get them is through tier 9 ships. The second best is through tier 10 ships, and they are important for absolutely everything in this game. So anyway, that's it. I'm gonna leave it here. I'm gonna say, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, press the like button. If you didn't, leave a nasty comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, notification bell, ring it, comment section, hit it, and if you want to support the channel, I have the description of the video. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye bye.